Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Faithful Dawgs. I'm Ted, the faithful part. This is Big Mike from the Man Cave 10, the Dawgs, the Cleveland Browns part. Mike, how are you doing on this fine Thursday?
I'm all right. I'm ready for this game this weekend.
Right on. Yeah, I think it's a long run up with the 2 weeks off from the NFC and AFC championship games to the Super Bowl. A lot of time for talk, and then a lot of time for kind of ridiculousness as well.
Yeah.
But let's see here. We didn't have a show last week, so at some point we'll probably chat a little bit about NFC Championship and AFC Championship games, or we can lead off with that. Whatever you'd like to do, just you let
Yeah,
me
that
know.
sounds good. Let's start there because we might as well build up to the big show, right?
That sounds like a great plan. Um, for 49ers Lions, obviously the Niners started slow, down 24-7, 17-point deficit at the half. A lot of us were wondering if the Niners had it in them to come back. And I was explaining to
You
people.
you were wondering if the Niners had it in. Because
Yeah, I mean,
you've always said they cannot play from behind. They're
from
front runners.
behind, front
But
running
what they
team.
do, what they do to
They did 17 points. It was huge. I mean, I was talking people off the ledge. I was saying, all we have to do is D up and start scoring. But there was clearly no evidence of that in the first half of the game. I was going off basically the Green Bay Packers game, but it wasn't nearly as much as of a deficit. And then I was going off the season about how well the team had played. So it didn't seem like we were playing up to our potential by any stretch of the imagination. So I still had hope. I was telling somebody, hey, look, we just need to score here before the half and then come out and score at the beginning of the second half. We did neither. Moody missed the field goal going into halftime, and went 3 and out in the first drive of the third quarter, but still somehow managed to put it together. So, oh wait, no, that was the Packers when we went 3 and out. We scored a field goal. We did score a field goal at the first drive of the third quarter against the Lions. That is, and that brought us down to a 14-point deficit and two scores, striking distance type of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just typing up our banner here. Equals faithful.
Listen, you guys absolutely 1000% needed that type of game. Absolutely needed it. You needed the game before that against Green Bay, where Green Bay was whooping on that ass, showing you guys what it was all game, and you needed Purdy to be able to bring that drive home and win that game. Then you needed that punch in the mouth, that 1-2 that you took in that first half. Thank you. And to go down like that and have to push yourselves to come back and show you guys had that type of team, that type of mentality, because even fans like yourself and others have doubted you guys all year long, saying it can't happen. You guys can't do it. If we go in adversity, we're going to lose this and that. That proved to everybody, including the haters, the naysayers, everybody, that y'all have a real team, a complete team, because that was the one thing you guys were missing. Can we come back from a double-digit deficit? Can we do that? Can it happen? And you guys did it. You guys made it work, and Purdy looked Purdy. He looked amazing. And
Pretty
I've
good.
even gone off and already said it. I've already said it. I said, listen, he goes into the Super Bowl, plays those 250, touchdown, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and say, God forsake, in a losing fashion, he's elite. He's elite to me.
There you go. Daniel Barry says can't trail in the Super Bowl. I think Mike disagrees, Daniel. But check out Daniel Barry's Sports Highlights channel. He's a Rams fan, but he's actually pretty cool. Red Jet Shell in the house saying hi to the
What's up,
chat.
Red Jet?
Can't have a slow start. I mean, the you don't want to trail a lot because then you probably get away from the run game, and that plays right into the Chiefs' hands because they have a really good pass defense. So I understand that. And I also understand that Patrick Mahomes is not going to make the same mistakes as Jordan Love and Jared Goff made. And it wasn't all on Jared Goff either. Although we know that when you pressure him, he kind of crumbles compared to he's pretty elite from a clean pocket. But it was a lot on Reynolds too. He had 2 big drops, including the big 4th and 2 drop. So I'll I'm not going to pin it all on Goff. And Patrick Mahomes has some dubious weapons. Let's just call it what it is. McCole Hardman looks bad. Kadarius Toney, they said he was clear to play. I'm like, great. That's subtraction by addition.
They didn't play him.
Yeah. I've been saying Marquez Valdez-Scantling might be the X factor because he has had 2 big catches in the last 2 games. And I don't know if he had 2 big catches all season before. No, I'm sure he did, but he had some big drops all season and all career.
The X factor going in the Super Bowl is none of those you named.
All right.
It's Sky Moore, who just came off the IR.
Oh, Sky Moore.
No, you haven't seen him. Nobody's seen him or heard about him in a long time.
Yeah, I remember. I remember people I was really high on him coming out in the draft. I thought he might be, a really good draft pick, but then he kind of didn't do much last year, did he? If I recall correctly.
But he's that weapon again that you guys, no one's geared up for.
Right.
But is this going to be a thing? Are they going to make the Ravens mistake? Because, in the Ravens in the AFC, and I swear, everybody says that word scripted. That game was the most scripted thing I ever saw in my life. Tell me how the Ravens come into this game. They're run heavy. They use their tight ends like no other, and their defense is strong. Oh, they have a running back that averaged 6.7 yards every carry, and they didn't use him but 5 times. Lamar threw in a double coverage when he had lanes open. He could have ran 20 yards. The tight ends, Mark Andrews had 2 targets, caught both balls only for 15 yards. Likely had 3 targets, caught 2 of them, and only got 15 yards. Tell me how John Harbaugh was so, stupid to go away from his game plan that all year long worked, made every team look stupid all year long, and then just said, we're going to go do something else, and then look like a damn fool doing it.
Well, it all started in Super Bowl 54, Mike, when we stopped feeding Mostert, Coleman, and Debo, who were all tearing the Chiefs up. Even Tyrann Mathieu said it after the game. He said, thank God Kyle went away from the run because we had no answer for it. Thank God he put the ball in Jimmy's hands specifically.
Yeah. Well, it's different now because Purdy is not Jimmy. And if you guys even dare to go away from CMC, something bad's going to happen to Kyle. Something bad will happen to that man. It'll be a player that does it. It won't even be fans. It'll be a player that runs over there. Trent Williams might go punch him in the face like Richard Sherman because
worse than a fire alarm in the middle of the night.
It'll be right there. It ain't gonna be cool. It ain't gonna be Gatorade dumped on your head. It's gonna be this big fist coming from number 71. Because they're not gonna make that mistake. I think Shanahan's learned from everything that's happened, everything that's gone down. He's learned what he needs to do. That's why I said that game against the Lions was needed more than anything. Because now he did everything. He's checked all the boxes, every single box. Purdy's checked them right with him now. They've gone against adversity. They've come back, played in the rain, last-minute drive. Everything's been checked through these playoffs. There is not one thing you can say that the Chiefs can do, because you know what the Chiefs do best is they'll score 17 points in the first half and will not score in the second half. Will not. They're the best defense in the second half because that's how they win. They don't let their opponents score.
Problem is three points in fourth quarter, so they average 1 point a fourth quarter.
See?
Chiefs, it's crazy.
Problem is you're going against the 49ers who have all the weapons, have that offensive line, have CMC, have an IQ quarterback who does not turn the ball over, and you got a defense that is primed in every position. You're a little beat up in a corner maybe. You might be lacking a little, but that is it. That is it. And you don't even got to worry about that because who do you got to worry about out there? Like you ran it through the receivers. Well, Tony's 100%. He'll be in the locker room. Vandale Scantling. Well, we don't got to worry about that because he's going to drop the damn ball. The only
I
one you
hope
really
so.
got to look
I
at is
hope so.
Sky Moore or Rasheed Rice.
Rasheed Rice is definitely scary. Kelsey's scary. The rest don't scare much. And Randy had a good point about never seen a guy come back from a long breaker injury and have a good game. It usually does take a little while to get back into game shape, but
you're right. You're absolutely right. But it's not going to be that he's going to play the whole game. It'll be those 1 or 2 plays they use because he's fast.
right.
That's what it'll be. It'll be those end arounds or those stupid little dump offs. It won't be something major down the field. They could launch it down the field and he goes and gets it. It's not going to be that where he's going to have 10 catches. That's not going to be his game. It's going to be those 1 or 2 plays. You're like, oh, shit.
The end arounds like McCole Hardman did against us in 2022. The jet sweeps.
Or how you guys use Debo. It'll be like that. It won't be some crazy shit.
Okay. James Renall said Vegas talking out of both sides of their mouth. Niners favored to win, but MVP favorite is Mahomes. Yeah, they never give the MVP to the losing keep. Or I mean, maybe they did it once, but
I don't know. I don't think anybody's ever done that. Listen, I'll go to the basketball side of this. Remember, what was it? 2015.
I think it happened once.
Warriors Cavs, right? 2015.
Yeah.
LeBron should have won the MVP even though he lost.
Yeah.
Iguodala should never have won that MVP. I mean, the dude didn't really do nothing. They said, "Oh well, he locked down LeBron." Then why is everybody chanting up this dude averaged a triple-double the whole damn finals? You say what? The MVP should have still went to LeBron. No, that team should have walked over and gave it to him and said, "Hey, we won the finals, but you won that."
I'm with you there. I mean, it definitely wasn't Curry. That's for sure.
No, hell no, it wasn't. He got shot. But
yeah. Well,
how much faith?
I mean, if we want to get into that, I'll say a lot of it was Dirty Deli. Dellavedova was.
Listen, I love
fouling him left, right, and center to keep him from scoring. But hey, it worked. It worked.
Hey, that boy Deli will do whatever he is told. And that dude was sucking down coffee just to stay energetic to do that. He had to get IVs left and right after that game.
It was like the Legion of Boom, just like hold on every play. They won't call every one of them.
Oh yeah, he was all over the place, and I give it to him. That dude is
Dirty Deli.
He got his money from that finals.
I did not like that guy at all.
That's like me saying I don't like Draymond. That dude just punches people in the face.
Nobody likes Draymond. I mean, a lot of Warriors fans don't even like Draymond. So
I mean, that dude just is something else, man.
Yeah. I'm starting not to like him as much after this season. That's for sure. He was my favorite, but this season I've turned a little bit on him. It's been a rough one. Said Alberto Soto, welcome. He says could also come down to Purdy using his legs. Game between KC and Baltimore, lots of grass to run, but never did.
See, and I told you that Lamar had all the open space, but said, you know what? I'm going to use my arm that I don't ever use and throw it in a double coverage like I don't know how to, instead of running for 20 yards. I mean, when he threw that ball and it hit off dude's helmet and he ran and caught it and ran for 15 yards, I was like, dude, this dude, that play, if you would have ran for a touchdown, that would have been the play of the entire year. That would have been it. I'd have said, dude, the title after that game, if they would have won, have been like Lamar had to do it all, throw, or it would have been pass, catch, and run.
There you go. Randy says when we played Lamar, he ran 22 yards backwards into the end zone for a safety. Was it 22 yards? I know it was a long
Yeah, it
run.
was something ridiculous like that.
Wow. James Renall says script already in for this game. Piss poor ref, shitty practice field. I bet it would pump up crowd noise if they can get away with it.
This is the home game for you guys.
Well, we'll see. I mean, it seemed like that, in the events this week, but like there's a big difference between that and a Super Bowl ticket. So I think most of the people that are really coming for the game are showing up today and tomorrow, so Saturday. So we'll see. I was saying we are the best traveling team in the NFL, and that's backed up by Vivid Seats. We literally fill up 48% of opposing stadiums, this year in 2023.
You guys are what, 3 to 5 hours away from that stadium?
Uh, 2 hours by plane.
Now you're really making my point.
Yeah,
You're,
hour and
li-
a half even by
you're right
plane.
there.
Yeah, no, by car it's a lot further because you got to go 5-6 hours to LA, 3-4 hours from LA out. So it's like a 8-10 hour drive,
Oh,
nine
if you
hour
go
drive.
down and then over?
Yeah, or you go over to Reno and down, but either way, it's like 4 hours, 4.5 hours to Reno, like 3 hours down. It's like 8 hours, I'd say minimum.
Still,
And
that's
that's with no traffic. If you hit LA at the wrong time, bro, you're adding a
listen.
couple
So,
hours
so, so
just
you
getting
talking about
through
all right?
LA.
You did a 10-hour work shift. That's literally what your drive is.
No, yeah. No, it's no, we have an advantage there for sure. But Vinovich, shoot, he's hosed us a bunch of times. Well, I don't know about a bunch, but he's hosed teams a bunch of times. Uh, you know, Obviously Super Bowl 54, he was the head ref when we felt like we got jammed on a lot of calls against the Chiefs. The year before, he had missed probably the most arguably the worst DPI non-call in NFL history or playoff history, where the Rams just like tackled the Saints receiver before the ball even got there, to send the
When
Rams
was that?
to the Super Bowl. When the Rams went and lost to the Patriots, they beat the Saints,
Oh, that's right. That's right.
and there was a huge non-call. That was Vinovich.
Listen, there was that non-call. Well, I don't know if he was rapping, but there was that
And,
non-call in the Super Bowl when the Rams played Cincinnati.
and you remember me talking about the Ravens on Christmas Day,
Yeah.
how like I didn't really sweat the Ravens as much as some people because we had had 3 tip balls intercepted, and tip balls 96% of the time or more hit the ground harmlessly. So that's unusual. Plus one of the 3 was an uncalled DPI where the guy came through Kittle's back to tip the ball. And that's Vinovich there too again. So
And you know what? I think it was Randy. Me and Randy were talking on my other show, The Cheap Seats, right?
yeah.
And he came up with this whole thing on what happened that day. And I agree with him 100% added to it because all that happened in the first half. All that crazy shit went down in the first half. 3 interceptions, all the weird stuff happened, right? And then Shanahan said, "You know what? We're done. We're conceding the game. This is it. Sam Darnold's going in. We're just going to play regular guys. We're not going to play no special plays. We're just going to see what happens." I mean, because you saw it. Remember, and this was a play, and Randy brought it up. Remember when they went down to the 2-yard line and they didn't run the ball at all? They could have scored, but Sam Darnold, they threw it twice in a row and he threw an interception. That right there is why he conceded that game and said, "We're not going to do shit. We're not giving no film to the team we think, the team we think we're going to see in the Super Bowl for them to study us or know us." And I think that was a hell of a move by Shanahan. Plus, it saved Purdy's mind. Because if he would have kept going and shit would have got worse,
Yeah.
it might have broke him mentally. It kept his ego in check, kept him good, and it saved him for this postseason and the way they played this whole postseason. And I think that was a hell of a coaching move by Shanahan.
I love it.
Whether he meant to do it or not, to me, that's a hell of a damn move.
No doubt about it. Alberto says Purdy needs to beat Patrick Mahomes and win the Super Bowl, check all the boxes to get his respect.
No, he does not.
Well, but here's why he does
doesn't
need
have
to
to
win
win to get his respect.
But here's why he does need to win it. Because QBs who go to the Super Bowl and lose their first time, they don't ever go back, let alone win it. So,
Well, if you go by that stat, all right.
I mean, and that's just until it doesn't happen that way, which Purdy could be the one to buck the trend. I'm not going to say he can't. It's just not a great sign.
Do you know how many trends Purdy's already bucked?
Yeah, he has. He's bucked a few. Yeah,
he's the buck master.
He is.
If
But
he
I
was
don't want to
Mr.
wait another
Irrelevant,
year, Mike. I can't.
He's
I
Mr.
can't.
Buck Master. Listen, I have now turned into the true believer of that man being elite. All I need him to do is go out there and play his game. Win
Don't
or
say
lose.
that to Randy.
I want y'all to win no matter what. I want y'all to win. Who do I got this game? I got the Niners and I got the under. That's what I have.
So
it's going to be a 24-21 game.
That was my original prediction, was 24-21. And I was like, no, I can't rely on Moody to kick a field goal. So I said 21-17. And I was talking to some Chiefs guys. I've talked to like 6 or 7 Chiefs creators in the last couple of weeks here. And one of them said, actually, it's a race to 30. Whoever gets to 30 first wins.
Well,
I
yeah.
still don't think either team will hit 30, but I moved my score up closer. I said 28-24 Niners is what I've been going with lately. I think I'm stuck on that.
I'm still saying the under. I can't say it's going to go over because if you look at the last couple games, I mean, when they played the Ravens, I mean, that game was close as hell at certain points. But this team that you guys are totally different. This is a different aspect right here. And you guys have the complete team. And again, Purdy's not Lamar. Lamar's not going to sit there and think he needs to do it with his arm, or people will doubt him, or this or that, or have all that pressure on him. Purdy has no pressure. From what I think, he has none. This dude isn't even supposed to be playing right now. If everybody goes back and look at Mr. Irrelevance in the years past, how many of those guys play and do what he's doing? He's out there just doing what he needs to do. This guy is, I call him Mr. Smooth because he's just chilling. Sitting back, tossing the ball, doing whatever. If it's raining, that's the only problem he has. And again, in that Packers game, he led that last-minute drive right down the field. I mean, that's how it works.
James Jernal is unhappy with the questions, SpongeBob SquarePants impersonations, disrespectful a-hole who asked if Purdy agreed with the meme. There was a meme going around that
really
said that he looked like Lee Harvey Oswald. They said, "Do you agree with that? Do you think he looked like Lee Harvey Oswald?" He's like, "Well, yeah."
Are people that stupid?
Yeah, they
Listen,
are.
man, you know what he looks like to me? A substitute teacher. He's coming in to teach English class. That is exactly what Brock Purdy looks like. He don't look like a damn football player. He looks like a substitute teacher. And he's a baller. The dude's he's that it's like that show you seen that movie Here Comes the Boom?
No, I haven't.
With Kevin Heffernan, or if that's it, I can't.
Oh yeah, where he's dressed like
a UFC fighter.
I seen the meme, the Raiders colors, where he's like smiling at the camera. Maybe not. Maybe it's something else.
I don't know. No, he's a teacher, and he goes and becomes a UFC fighter to save the music department.
Okay.
It's like Brock Purdy is that teacher, and all of a sudden he's like, you know what? Goes out there and starts slinging a pigskin around.
There you go.
And I'm telling you, hey, I get that, Sentinel. Can't be a king without a crown. The thing is, he's not going to be the king. Pat Mahomes will be the king even if he loses. That's just, they're going to give him the GOAT crown regardless. But Purdy will solidify himself as long as if he's not the reason they lost. He can't be the reason. He can't mess up, can't throw an interception at the end. Don't do those things. If he plays the game he's supposed to play and they just get beat, that's just how it works. You know, that's just how the game's played. But Purdy can go out there and win the game, and he doesn't have to throw for over 300.
There you go. Let's say hi to some folks here in the chat. Alberto Soto's here. Andrew Martinez is here. Bryant Culp is here. Check out his channel and his wife, Tony. Team Cali in the house. James Jernal, I think we said hi, but just in case we didn't. Bebop Jones, Bebop, coming to us from Bethlehem, PA. Sentinels Football Channel, you just called him out. And we got Shameless, a.k.a. the white Mike Lowry. Lee Harvey Oswald is one thing. Yeah, that's bad.
The white Mike Lowry.
Brock Purdy looks like my youth pastor. Uh-oh.
I mean, that too, but hey, he's got the man on his side then, right?
As long as he wasn't out of line with you, Randy, that's all. They're asking some dumb questions to all the 49ers players. Yeah. He's hip but pious. Oh. Can you be hip and pious? I don't know.
Hey, I put those two names together. That was where I messed up. Kevin Heffernan. I put them together.
There you go.
That right there. No, I think the media will respect him too. He plays a hell of a game and they lose, they'll have nothing bad to say about the man. And if they do, then they might as well go be on CNN or Fox News and be spreading fake shit and talking all sorts of dumb shit. Because as far as I'm concerned, that man has proved himself this entire postseason and done nothing short of that. Done nothing short.
Yes. Yeah, it's Carcast in the house. Make sure you check out his channel. He says, "How you guys doing today? Better now that you're here." Andrew Martinez says this Browns fan is cool.
I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
that's why I invited him to do a weekly show with me. We got along so well in our fake Bengals preview show.
Yeah, I was the Bengals for a day.
Yeah. Well, you're an AFC North expert,
I
being
mean,
in
yeah,
the
I
division.
can do any team.
I always
Whoever
say
you
I'm
need for any
Niners
team, I got
expert,
you.
then NFC West, then NFC, and then like top AFC teams, and then the rest.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, um, Randy just released an amazing short. Please don't miss it. I didn't even know you had a channel, Randy. Do you really? Or I think he's joking. If
I
not,
don't know. I put
send
out a
me the
bunch of shit.
link. Oh, wait, you're not on Twitter though, Randy, are you?
He's probably
Email to
talking
me.
about
My
the two.
email's in there. This is painfully true. Bryant was saying, "Oh yeah, no. There you go. I'm with you there." Randy did. I mean, not Randy, but Bryant did say Moody's going to shock the world and make all his PATs. It's funny because I was talking to a Chiefs fan yesterday, Curtis, and I told him, "Yeah, I'm going 28-24." He says, "I'm going Niners 27, Chiefs 24." I'm like, "Oh man, you mean Moody's gonna have to make 2 field goals?" I was like, "Well, actually, you could miss a PAT. That makes more sense." Then we still win 27-24. But he's the only Chiefs person I had on that picked the Niners. Pretty notable there. Let's see here. Also, we called out Mike. Yeah. Let's see here, and then let's see what else we got. So Browns fan is cool. Just the short. Painfully true. I think we're catching up. Yeah, this is exactly why he needs to win this
I,
game.
I don't. Again, I think the media will respect this man. I think some of them already turned the corner on it.
What about Cam Newton? What will it take for
Listen,
Cam?
that dude dresses
Because
like
now he's calling him Brock Parody. Have you
dude.
heard that?
Here's the deal with this.
I'm like,
This
that's kind of ironic because Cam is like a parody. He looks like a clown
dude.
with these
Did you
outfits he
see?
wears.
I posted a thing. I don't know if I put it on Twitter, but there's a thing where Warren Sapp calls him a glorified running back.
Running back. Oh,
That is
yeah.
exactly what that man was. And then he goes and dresses like a grandma.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, look. Cam Newton could do certain things, but this dude has no rhyme or reason to talk. You were picked number 1 and you fell short.
Yeah.
You fell way short of what a number 1 should do. Way short. And you're over here talking shit about Mr. Irrelevant, the man that is doing it all that shouldn't be doing anything. A parody. This dude won how many games in a row last year? Went to the NFC Championship, got hurt in that game. And then come out this year and everyone's like, all right, we got to see him do it again. Did it again and longer with more games won. And he's in the Super Bowl with a comeback win against the Detroit Lions when he was down 17. A last minute drive. These people got to shut up. Stop hating on this man. Put the respect right on his damn name. He is Brock Purdy. He is Purdy as hell when he's throwing that ball and he's not. I mean, come on. Like I said, we discussed this. The rain is his only villain. That is the villain he fights.
Rain or an offensive lineman in his face where he can't step into the ball. He doesn't have the arm strength to
See, and that
throw
you know what
off
he needs to do
platform.
there? That one thing he needs to learn is what he did last game. In the second half, he pulled it down and ran for 45 yards in that second half. And him doing that is the reason why that comeback was able to happen.
Well, they ended up having to spy him too. The Lions did, and then that just is one less set of eyes on our weapons too. It just opens everything up. Now that's why I was capping on Brock Purdy in the offseason was because I wanted a quarterback like right here, Trey Lance, who had top speed running and had a big arm. The big arm causes one safety to play back out of the box, and the fast top speed makes one defender still left in the box keep eyes on him to spy. And now that Brock Purdy's throwing deep and peeling off big runs, like what more could you ask for? So I just want to see more of it with less, variability farther apart. That's when I'll say elite, or maybe after this game, if we win the Super Bowl, I pretty much have to call him elite at that point.
If you guys win, everybody's going to have to say. And if you don't win and he still, like I says, plays the way he plays, you will say it then too, because you're not going to put this on him.
No,
You will not put this on him.
no,
You
not if
probably
not
put
if
it
the
on the
Chiefs.
refs, or you're going to say, you know what, Pat Mahomes did Pat Mahomes things, and that was what it was.
Yeah, and I just think part of it is, for the Niners in those games was rust. I think we were rusty against Green Bay. I think we're still a little rusty against the Lions too. So hopefully we've knocked that off. Although 2-week rest is not the best way to knock off rust. We'll see. James Renal says these. Go ahead.
But that thing is amazing. The 2-week rest after 2 hard fought battles like that heals you guys up, get you guys great. Shanahan knows how to work a game plan, can put it together. And to me, that was the best thing, to have a battle like that. And for the Chiefs to face a team that they weren't even themselves. Like I said, I was so pissed off by that AFC Championship game. We didn't get to see the game we wanted to see. We saw some trash. That's exactly what we saw. And it was the worst thing ever. I was so mad. Like, dude, what? This is what I'm watching? I was happy to watch Detroit punch you guys in the face and say, now we're going to see some. If we're either going to see it or this is going to be just a horrible ass game. But I was waiting because I believed in that Niner team. I believed Purdy could do it. And damn, he did it. Because I called it. I was on texting with my dude, Jay. I was like, Jay, watch. He's like, nah, it's over. I said, watch. Boom. Because he was calling it over in the first quarter. I'm like, shut up, man.
No, I definitely didn't do that. I did say at one point, I turned to my buddy and I said, maybe this will get Kyle to invest in offensive line finally. But
that is one thing you guys do need to do. Get yourself some offensive line, just people to back up people. That way, if someone goes down, you have you plug and play.
You just see how much better Goff plays when the offensive line plays well. It's like night and day. And Purdy is obviously much better against the blitz and against pressure, but it's not what you can do with a guy in your face if you don't have a lot of arm strength to throw off your back foot. James was mad at this reporter still. He said these guys get credentialed, media folks that is, to make a career out of journalism, and these are the questions they asked. They failed harder than our Trey Lance pick. Ouch.
Listen, that right there, I'm telling you right there. Look, Trey Lance wasn't for you guys. He didn't fit y'all. He didn't even get the real opportunity to do it, right? I guarantee you will be correct. You will be correct. He may not be better than Purdy, but I bet once Dak, I don't know how to play in the playoffs, Prescott is done over there, watch. If they give Trey Lance the shot, I think he's going to do good. I don't think he's going to be some spectacular, oh my God, Trey Lance, and you guys are going to start wishing you guys still had. No. But he will play better than what everybody else is saying.
Randy says the greatest football minds love Brock. Steve Young, Montana, Kurt Warner. Yeah, the guys that matter. Chase Daniel is obviously not a great player, but
he's a quarterback, and the dude knows quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Whether he was a good one or not, he still knows what it takes.
It's like JT O'Sullivan likes him a lot too. Football school or quarterback school. He was never much of a QB, but I do like his breakdowns for sure.
Yeah.
Cam was a one-hit wonder. I mean, with the MVP, I guess, but he never even won a ring. So,
no,
dressed as a woke lion tamer. And Cam will always talk S about Purdy, but Purdy will have a ring. Let's hope so. I feel good about it, but I'll feel a lot better on Monday if it's actually real, or on Tuesday if I'm going to the parade.
You'll feel better about it the minute that game's over.
Yeah. The problem I'm having with the NFL right now is we know they're going to help create the Chiefs. They're going to help create the Chiefs dynasty. The question is, will they let us have a fair playing field? Well, they certainly didn't let us have a fair practice field. That was a real travesty.
And look at it this way: shitty practice field, all messed up. Now you guys are going to go play on something that's real nice. So you play at your top speed when it's nice, right? You guys practice your hardest on some shit. Now when you get to that niceness, it's going to be a lot easier. It's like playing with weights on and then taking the weights off.
There you go. I like it. Practicing at altitude and then
Yes.
coming down to sea level to run the marathon, like the
Yep.
Ethiopian runners and Kenyan runners. Randy, there's no way the Niners win this game. Just too profitable. I just don't know that. I don't know. I mean, I feel like the profits are in already, so I don't know that it really hurts. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it is hard to.
Look, here's the deal.
It's a concern.
Is it more profitable for Swifties to see Taylor go out there and be there for her man and smiling and doing her thing and them being like, oh, look at this love story? Or they just jumping around? You want to bring it back around. So if Kelsey and them win this year, Swifties aren't going to be there next year. They're not going to be like, oh, we're going to ride this train again. No, they'll be there for, they got to have that comeback story, that comeback love story. Can they make it through another? That's what it's going to have to be. That's the story. That's the book I read. I don't read, oh, well, they didn't. Let's read another book. No. How do trilogies happen? Because the first one, they lose and build up to the win. This is going to be their loss.
All right. I like it. Maybe it's bait Roger to get the eyes on the NFL to keep it so their storybook ending is intact. Keep it fair. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that no matter what, I've seen transcendent players play through the refs. I've seen it with Curry. I've seen it with Clay. You know, and I don't know. I don't know that I've seen it in football as much. But I assume that it happens sometimes where the refs try to jam you, and there's just, if you just play great, if they can't stop the run, what are you going to do? Unnamed owner doesn't like comps that jumps on another train. Looks like Jerry was always 50 this week. Yeah, I heard that the teams are unhappy with the 49ers for getting so many comp picks. And I was just like, hey, if you want to change the rules, change the rules. But if these are the rules, we're going to play within the rules that are set.
Let me give you guys another thing to this rules, and people play by the rules and everybody gets mad by that. Okay, we're talking football, but I'm going to go to the NBA side. Flopping, right? Everybody yells at LeBron James for being the crybaby flopper he is. That is what the game is. You have to master what the game is. You can't sit here and say, oh, well, I'm not going to do that because I believe in this. Then you're not going to be as good because them other guys are going to do it and get the points. They're going to be at the free throw line. They're going to be making the buckets. You have to play the game the way it's played until it's changed, and then you got to play it that way. You can't sit here and cry, well, compensation. Jerry's just pissed because no coach wanted to come there and be his damn coach, so you had to keep Mike McCarthy. He's pissed because Dak Prescott wound his contract in so much red tape. He looks like he's a gift for Valentine's Day, and he can't get rid of his ass. That is why he's pissy. He's mad as hell that he can't catch the break that other teams do, like the Niners with Purdy, and be able to have some crazy storyline right here that Randy says, because that story being mystery relevant, being that type of guy and winning it all, that is a hell of a story. They did it in Madden one year. It was, I forget what they even called it. Guy didn't get drafted, then he went through all these struggles, had to fight, had to go on a TV show, then come out, and you had to win with him. You had to make the story come to life. That is exactly what Purdy did. And to be honest, Purdy should have been drafted higher than the last pick. The dude has records at Iowa State. What the dude's done all his life is won. Why is everybody hating this man? He's won his entire life. Just wins. That's all he does. Do you want him to lose so he can be, oh, yep, he's good? He just, what?
I think he would have come out higher if he'd come out his junior year. Then I guess
I agree. And I hate that aspect in the draft. We're going to look at what he did right now and not look the whole body of work. Because what he did in his junior year was amazing. I mean, he had a hell of a junior year at Iowa State. Senior year, yes. That was some shit. But he still played good. Problem is all the players from that junior year went to the draft and was gone.
Yeah. That's, a lot of people don't like to, consider context. They just like, oh, QB wins, QB wins. That's all that matters is QB wins. And it's like, no, man, I think we've talked about this. I like to use Stafford as my example because 12 years on the Lions, 0-3 playoffs, won first season with the Rams super team, 4-0 playoffs ring. Then his O-line falls apart, 5-12. So same guy, like down, 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 up, down, and then this year kind of rebounding a little bit as his O-line got better and he got Puka to go with Cooper Kupp.
Well, what does that
tell you? Kyron Williams is a hell of a back.
What does that tell you? That tells you, oh yeah, there's not just one guy on the field. There's 11, dude. There's 10 other dudes out there that play this game. There's 11 dudes on both sides of this field. You can't say, oh, well, the QB does it all. Oh, what about the quarterback on the defense? That dude controls the defense. Do we blame him? No, they blame the quarterback because the quarterback put the defense in that position, supposedly. They got to stop doing this. This narrative that the quarterback is the reason for everything going wrong or right has to stop. It has to. They have to put the blame on whoever the real problem is. I get it. Quarterback has the ball in his hands, not the entire game. Come on. Got to be done. People have to make plays. People have to catch the ball. People have to run the ball. People have to tackle. Coach has to call the right plays. They got to stop doing this. That's why I hate the MVP award. It's always a quarterback award. Why?
MVQ.
I mean, it's the stupidest thing ever.
Give it to Lamar. He's 1-4 in the playoffs.
I'm telling you, this was the year to give it to a non-quarterback. The exact year to give it to a non-quarterback.
CMC,
and CMC should have had it. I wish Tyreek would have broke the record so there could have been no discussion that this was a damn quarterback thing. I wanted him to break it so bad. It's like, yeah, good. Tyreek Hill's the MVP. We can stop this whole shit.
And Swift just working for her next breakup song to be a number one hit. I think she has like 17 of them or something. So,
but hey, that's what gets the Swifties the best. They love the good breakup song because they can relate to it. Like everybody with that Miley Cyrus song, I could hold by my own flowers and shit. Every woman in the world sung that song, put it on repeat for 500 days in a row and was singing it. I don't need no man until, oh shit, I do. Oh, you forgot you do. And it's not that you need, it's a natural human thing. We want others. We want to be with somebody else. You don't ever want to be by yourself. Yes, the song was great for someone going through some shit, but it's not something to live by.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I was going to say, it reminds me of one of my favorite dad jokes, which was, it's a wife joke, dad joke, where it's like, my wife's always accusing me of ruining our anniversary. And I was like, that's ridiculous. I didn't even know it was our anniversary. Sheesh. All right. So Mahomes flop versus the Ravens. He did in the second half a little bit, but it didn't matter. They punched him and the Ravens never came back after that. I was arguing with a Chiefs fan because I did a poll of like who you guys think will win the Super Bowl. And of course, Niner fans are all going to vote Niners, but
yeah.
A Chiefs fan said, go ahead and bet against Pat Mahomes, right? And I'm like, It's not him, it's his weapons.
Yep.
And he says, Mahomes elevates everyone, and he shows like the playoff career first. And I was just like, can he elevate y'all's run defense? He said, no, but he can give us a lead that makes SF abandon the run. I said, not with those weapons. And those stats don't include Super Bowls because, pretty famously, after the first two Super Bowls, he had a lower passer rating than Rex Grossman after playing us and playing the Bucs in the Super Bowl. And it's funny when you kind of explain all that stuff away, he, didn't mention that it was the Niners defense was the reason why and guess why? Because he's playing the Niners defense again. Just kind of funny the way.
Because that's that mentality. That's that mentality. They truly believe the quarterback is the reason for everything.
Yeah.
Listen,
and Mahomes is incredible. I mean, there's no doubt. He is. Yeah.
God, Kermit the Frog is amazing at playing football. No one knew it. We all thought he was just great at kicking it on with Fozzie and Gonzo. Look, here's my whole thing. Is he said, oh, we get a big enough lead, you have to abandon the run. Kyle Shanahan is not stupid enough to abandon somebody giving him 6.7 yards a carry. He's not going to abandon that because while it does still run the clock, he's getting almost a first down every carry. You're not abandoning that. Just not going to do that. That is the dumbest thing I ever saw by a coach. I mean, and you only ran him 5 times, and he 6.7. That's like me yelling at Stefanski. Why aren't you running Nick Chubb all last season? Not this season, the season before. Didn't run Nick Chubb. Like, dude, what? That was my whole huge issue. Like, you weren't running Chubb enough. I don't know. Look, back it up, binge. If you don't know this dude and his shows, I'm telling you, Ted, go watch it. He's got these little binge bites. The most information you'll ever get about things you're like, oh, I didn't even realize this or that about all sports or about anything, man. They're great.
Nice. Love it. Welcome back it up, binge. Change from all calling it soccer because of the flopping. Jimmy Perez in the house saying, what's up? What's up, Jimmy? Mike is a Niner fan. Can't hide it. He is this week. Ted, say something good about Niner Mike is taking over. That's fine. The last thing I ever want to be accused of is being a homer. So like I want to always be as impartial as possible. And I root for the Niners, but that doesn't mean that I like automatically think that we'll win every game. I actually kind of did pick us every game this season, but I'm not the only one. We were favored in every game this season. It's the first time that's ever happened. The team's been favored every game in the season and postseason too. So
let me ask you a question. What was the one reason why you like to have me on this show? You told it to me.
Because I like,
because I'm not what? Because I'm not a homer.
Yeah.
Not biased. I'm going to give you the flat out truth and tell you like it is, no matter what it is.
Yeah. You're not part of the 49ers echo chamber.
I'm not part of that. I'm not part of my own. I'll tell own Cleveland Browns fans what the hell's good with themselves, because some of them really need checked. They were all burning Flacco shirts and shit. What is wrong with y'all? This dude come in and did all that, and you guys are burning shit because he threw 2 back-to-back. All right, yes, that shit was crazy. Back-to-back pick sixes, but stop. Just stop, man. You guys are absolutely ludicrous and need to chill out, man.
How far is it from Cleveland to Youngstown?
Hour.
Okay, just curious. Because obviously the Yorks are and the DeBartolos are all from Youngstown there. Yeah. Team Cali, same folks say they love a winning story. Same time they hate Purdy. I say F them. Oh, well, they love an underdog story, but they hate Purdy. Well, it's because we're not underdogs. That's why. It's because we're the big bully. And so, it's the Niners aren't underdogs. So that's what the dichotomy is there. That's why they won't give Purdy if it was like a scrappy team that was not supposed to win and kept winning, then they would love Purdy. Trust me. It's just because we have a solid defense and the best weapons in football, and Kyle calling the plays. People hold that against Purdy, so I think that's kind of fair. But hey, your buddy Bobby G is in the house.
Bobby G, like you know what tune in if you guys want to learn about some culture and have some good stuff going on. The Audible Fridays, great show, got sports in it, but it's about everything else too that's wrapped around involved in it. It's a great show.
Nice.
But look, the whole thing with Purdy, you know why people hate him? Can you give me one line Purdy says? Do you even know when this dude talks? The dude's not flashy. He's not out there. Hey, I'm the best ever. I'm Mr. Whatever. He doesn't do that shit. He plays the game. He comes dressed like he's a damn dad in a substitute t-shirt, walks into the stadium, goes and sits there. He's like Joe Flacco did. Joe Flacco come in wearing pajamas and shit. And he doesn't care about all that other shit. Everybody else cares about it. Everybody's made that such a main thing now. Oh, what's he wearing today? Oh, he's wearing just khakis and a shirt. Oh,
no Yeezys. Yeah.
It makes no sense why people's perception is this way.
Well, it's hip hop.
I love that take. I love it. He might not have had the sacks to go with it, but he did everything else, and being held by everybody in the world, being triple teamed. And the fact that he jumped over an entire line, didn't touch him, and blocked a field goal, that shit was something else.
So we're talking about Myles Garrett. Just
yes.
About the comment here from Alberto. So
Myles Garrett should be the defensive
player.
That
was against us.
Dude, that he's sick.
Yeah, he's a freak for
He's a
sure.
big freak of nature who loves dinosaurs, man. It's something else. He's got a brain as big as his body, dude, and it's sickening. You got
James
both
fo-
of them.
James followed up with my dad joke with, "Of course you ruined the anniversary. You took her to a Swift movie." It's true, but it's not true because she wanted to go see this. She's the one who dragged me to the Swift movie, to be fair, Taylor Swift concert movie. But good memory, James. Nice, I like it. You ignoring the stats TJ Watt put down, one man team. TJ Watt was really hot early in the season,
Oh,
but
he was.
he kind of tailed off. Well, did you get injured again this season? Not
He got
major,
injured
but
right before the playoffs, but then he was injured too during the season.
yeah, I think that
He missed
slowed him
like 2 or
down
3
some.
games or something.
Yeah, because he came out of the gates, he was tearing it up. Like for the first 6-7 games, it was nobody was close. But towards the end, he kind of fell back to earth a
Dude,
little bit.
he is. TJ is their defense. When they don't have him, their defense lacks 100%.
Only McDaniel bails on 5 and 7 plus yards per carry RBs.
No, John
Oh,
Harbaugh's added to that list now.
yeah. And McDaniel, to his credit, like Tua had never played. I guess all the more reason to run it though. That Tua had never played below 20 degrees, and that was in high school, and all of a sudden it's minus 20 or
Yeah,
minus 30 with wind chill or whatever it was.
when
Ridiculous.
Andy Reid's mustache is freezing just sitting there, that's a problem. That is
Yeah.
crazy. When water, you take it out the cooler and it instantly freezes, that's something else.
Yeah. They got effed up by the MVP award and put the entire game in Lamar's hand. Yeah. Silly fun guy in the house. Speaking of dad jokes, he said I got a signed jersey for my wife. It was a good trade. There you go. He's a Rams fan, but he's pretty cool and he usually brings the dad jokes. So thank you.
Yeah.
Shardal Gupta in the house. SG Sports Channel. Make sure you check him out. Give him a like and subscribe. Okay, we got a few minutes here. Yeah, TJ was awesome, but Myles Garrett stayed on the field all season. Yeah, see, there you go. I think that was the difference. Bosa just wasn't in it this year because of the holdout. He just never quite. In fact, the sort of second half of the Lions game was the first time I saw him starting to look like himself. So hopefully we'll see vintage Bosa, 2021 and 2022, both, especially 2022 Bosa here in the Super Bowl. That would be really helpful because not much of the rest of our D line is showing up so far.
Listen, the key to getting Mahomes is pressure up the middle.
So Armstead,
If you can
Hargrave,
if you can get that pressure, make them roll out to Bosa or Young,
yeah,
and then have them have to make quick decisions because Kelsey may not be open. He may have to go somewhere else with it. And your defense, again, your defense is top 5, top 1, 2 with the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Browns. You're playing another top 5 D. They know how to do this. So you pressure up the middle, make them get sacked, or he's got to do those pressure throws. And he's great at doing them when he has the weapons.
There you go. I like it. I think they only made Mahomes the underdog because there's some number about betting on him when he's the underdog, and he's like 14-1 when you bet with him as the underdog. I guess, but I mean, I think the betting lines are swayed by money coming in on either side. And if they did an artificial number, then they'd be giving away money probably. So I don't think Vegas would be too keen to do that, but you never know. NFL might be doing it. Unless you're on the inside, folks, you're on the outside. So we really don't know what happens behind those closed doors. I heard Hester made Hall of Fame. Yeah, I heard they're going to announce it at halftime, maybe or
Good.
something.
I hope he did.
Yeah,
that's great because he deserves it.
I hate when people thank God. To be honest, the other team pray to God too. I guess. Hey, there you go. Lee Galland in the house. El Presidente from 49ers Faithful UK. They're blowing up. They're getting close to 1,000 subs. So everybody be sure and help them out to hit that goal. It gets you the full monetization and ad revenue on YouTube. Not long ago, we were like in the same ballpark, and then I pissed everybody off. So someday, hopefully, I'll be catching up to you guys again someday, Lee. But congratulations to you and Paul. You guys are doing great things. Obviously, Nick, everyone there at 49ers Faithful UK, Najee, a great group of folks that I met. Alec, even Neil, who blocked me. Oh, funny story, Lee. I you weren't there. I was talking to Paul and I saw Neil. I'm like, hey Neil, why'd you block me on Twitter? He's like, oh, must have been a mistake or whatever. Paul and I'm like, oh yeah, bullshit. He's like, but I'll unblock you right now. And I was over in the islands for the holidays, and sure as shit, my son gets his hands on my phone and blocks Breezy, who's like a big Niners content creator. And I was like, oh man, I had to unblock him. And I had to go, oh, Breezy, I have to refollow him and be like, dude, I blocked you by accident. Well, I didn't. I said, my son blocked you. He got my phone and blocked you. And the worst part was we were in 2 DM groups. And so I booted him out of both DM groups. So I had to go add him back to those. And anyway, funny story. So maybe Neil, if he has little ones, maybe it wasn't such a BS story after all. So I thought that was kind of funny. I know we're getting short on time.
Hey, listen. We can go another half hour.
Oh, we can.
Okay. Yeah, let's keep rolling. Screw it.
All right. Well, I don't want to get you in trouble.
This is going good. Let's keep rolling.
All right. Did the other team pray harder, or does God hate them?
Come on, Randy. You did the same. Thank God for their talent and them being there. There ain't nothing about the team winning.
They didn't. All right. Here's 2 times where I thought God screwed us one time and then screwed our opponent the other time. And it's a very similar type story.
Yeah.
But opening day of 2021 in Chicago, Trey Lance.
Mm-hmm.
It's raining all games, field super wet the whole game. The Bears go up, and then all of a sudden we need to pass the ball to score a touchdown. I think we're down by 9 or something. And all of a sudden the sky opens up, and it's like this torrential downpour. It's puddles everywhere. You can't see the white lines and numbers anymore. So they like reverse the polarity on the cameras. All of a sudden it looked black. It was the creepiest, weirdest thing I've ever seen in a football game.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, it's the same rain all game, Ted. Like, why didn't Trey Lance have problems? I'm like, no. It was the same all game, for 3 quarters. And then when we really needed to pass, like nobody was going to pass on that. And it wasn't quite as dramatic, but it happened similarly in the Packers game where it was raining on and off, then it was off for a while, and
that was gone.
Eventually Purdy, takes the go-ahead touchdown or hand off to CMC for the go-ahead touchdown, but he drove it. It was a nice drive, nice pass. Conley and a few others on the drive, and I think Kittle.
Didn't he hit Ayuk on a slant or something?
He's Ayuk on the left, somebody on the left, Conley a big one down the right, and then CMC up the gut to for the TD. And then here comes poor Jordan Love, where he's got to come back, and the sky opened up, and it wasn't quite as bad. It was like no black numbers, and there weren't like big puddles on the field or anything, but it was dramatically harder rain than we had seen for most of the game. And so I felt like, God. I was on with some Browns fans that we like sports folks, and they were like, yeah, sometimes God, plays favorites. I'm like, yeah, I think so. It does happen. So
there are times you see that because you'll see like a field goal kick going dead center, and all of a sudden it goes right or left. You're like, what the hell just happened there?
There you go. Chardall says he'll be at the parade and we can get a photo. Well, don't jinx us, Chardall. I've talked about it, that I think it could be Tuesday or Wednesday next week. I think pretty for sure I'll be there. And because I haven't missed one yet. So if I see you, then I would love to get a picture with you, Chardall. And then we need to get a show going too. We were looking at Friday, tomorrow at 1:30, but I've got a Chiefs fan coming on at 1, so I don't think that's going to work for tomorrow. Like and sub, both channels. If you're on TED Talks Ball, get over to the Man Cave 10. Give Mike a like and subscribe. If you're on a browser, please watch us both at the same time. That way we get all the view hours. And, also if you're on Mike's channel, do the same for me. Pop over, give me a like and subscribe. Really helps out with the efforts. Thanking God is as valid as Kermit the Frog or anything.
Hey, listen, Randy. You know how many people thank Kermit the Frog all the time? A lot of Chiefs fans, and they thank Kermit, and he does a lot of good for them. So don't be doing that.
That's funny. Let's see here. What else we got? Atheist. I mean, yeah, there are atheists.
I think he's calling Randy that.
Oh, damn, shots fired. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I get it. I mean, there was a time in my life where I was like, science is everything, and and I don't know. I kind of believe in both. I think that you can have science and you can believe in God. It doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. Because for all the Big Bang people like that are like, oh yeah, the universe was created in the Big Bang and everything, and you say, well, what was there before that? And they're like,
Listen, you're right. The universe was created in the Big Bang. God made the Big Bang happen, and here it is. Look, there can't. This is one without the other. Science
yeah,
is a big part of everyday life, a big part of life, period. But then you have people. I mean, I believe in the man. I mean, there's just things that happen that I know. I'm like, oh, science didn't do that shit. I just know it didn't do that. Like
Randy thinks God's a woman.
I mean, it could be. I mean, who knows? I mean,
I'm just messing with you, Randy.
they're smashing things loose, getting pissed off. I mean, who knows? You know how they are. They switch up real fast.
I think there's some truth to this. People are very.
And you know what? There definitely is. And what people need to understand about that is it's like people are so mad when they're sad, right? Oh, I'm sad. I'm depressed. Well, without sadness, there is no happiness. Without life or without dying, there is no life because then you're just living. You don't really live a life. You just live. So when they say live every day like it's your last, live it to the fullest. You're not going to live it to the fullest if you're not worried about dying. You got to know dying's happening at some point, so you got to live. You can't, well, I'm going to stay in my house and do nothing my whole life and do nothing with it. You got to do something with it.
I think the Chiefs fans need a little more sadness in their lives.
Well, that'll probably eventually.
I think Brock Purdy needs to be the new Eli Manning. That Brock can be Mahomes's Eli, like Eli was to Brady.
Yeah,
I like
that
that.
could definitely be. And that could be the story that lives on.
And for me, like, I just don't really look at heaven and how, like, afterlife stuff. I just look at them as, like, it's here right now in your life. If you live your life by the right principles, you'll kind of have heaven on earth, I think, or hell on earth if you fuck around and find out, So,
look at that. Ted using the F word. I like that.
every now and then one sneaks out. They want to believe that they won't die forever. Yeah, that was a tough one with my son recently when he was like, he was like, "Daddy, are you gonna die?" And I was like, "Ford, everyone dies." And he's like, "Oh, but I don't want you to." I'm like, "Well, hopefully it won't happen anytime soon, But I'm not gonna lie to the kid and be like,
no. Listen, I don't lie to my kids about anything. Nothing in life. Like when that was asked me, I said yes. I go, you know what that means? They go, what? I go, that means we need to live our lives to the fullest while I'm here.
Yeah. Enjoy every day.
Take advantage of why I'm here, because if you don't, then you'll miss me that much more when I'm gone.
Yeah.
But if you take advantage, you'll cry when it happens. But you'll also be happy and smile about the memories we made together.
Yeah. Don't ever take anything for granted, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at Jawan Taylor's grandma passed away. What do you think about that? Like, and then he's like, oh, I'm going to play for her and all that. Mm-hmm. Do you think it hurts him in this game? Do you think it helps him in this game? Do you think it's just a nothing?
You won't know until after the game.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
People do that, and you'll see people, they're playing for this, and all of a sudden they'll go out and have amazing games. I mean, I've watched it happen. Yeah. Or, case in point, this year, Myles Garrett, he lost his uncle, was it Christmas Day or Christmas Eve?
Oh, wow.
And then he was just nothing the rest of the season. Like, he was there, but he really wasn't playing the way he plays. And it was just, you knew something was wrong. And he even said, he goes, my mind's not here right now because of that, because of how close he was there. So, I mean, he could have said, I'm going to play for it, and it doesn't matter. I've seen so many players say that, and they go out there and ball out. But then I've also seen it just ruin them.
So TBD. Yeah, that's a smart answer. As a wise man said, time will tell. Team Cali says we're all going to die some sooner than others, but dying is... That's what I told my son. It's part of being alive. Everything dies. Everyone, everything. Nothing lives forever. At least not until we find a way to get into the matrix, or and
Yeah, technology is the only thing that lives forever.
that's right. And just look how fast your iPhones go extinct. So even that doesn't last that
Yeah.
long.
I know I got to get a new one. Mine's there. It's about to be done.
There you go. Everything starts to slow down and it just loses charge
It's
like in
acting
10
weird,
minutes.
man. It's been
You're
doing
like,
some weird
like
shit
plugged
lately.
in. As soon as you unplug, it's like, boo. You're like, oh man, yeah, it's time for a new
It
one.
all of a sudden will go right back. Like I'll be in the middle of something and it goes black and you see the spinning thing, and then it goes right back to my lock screen. And I have
Oh,
to type in the code to get in. I'm like, what the hell just happened?
damn. You got TikTok on that thing?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean
No,
nothing.
I'm just messing with you. I'm actually getting back onto TikTok. I had
I'm telling you,
somebody,
TikTok, I've
some
seen
people,
some people make some money. It's big, it's huge, it's crazy on
I
there.
know, people are telling me I got to do it to help get my subs up. So I thought I had deleted my account, but I had only just deleted the app off my phone. So I just reactivated it, and I just got to get some shorts on there and kind of spruce it up a little bit. But the next few days, hopefully before Super Bowl, I can get that going, because after Super Bowl, football interest is going to drop off just a little bit, I would say.
Yeah.
It says, hey, Ted, are you watching the NFL Honors? Wasn't planning on it. When is it, Chart? I'll let us know. Oh, here he goes. Runs from 6 to 8. I guess that's tonight,
That's
huh?
tonight.
Okay.
It's right now.
Oh, well, no, 6 to 8. I think he means West Coast.
Oh, well, yeah. So, yeah, if it's West Coast, well, then, yeah, you got 3 hours.
Yeah. That's a tough time for me, Chardall. I am on daddy duties evenings and weekends, so really tough for me to do anything but watch the kidlets. Whatever floats your arc.
Hey, they found it. They found the ark. So,
They did?
yeah, you didn't hear that story? They found it over there exactly where it was said it was going to be. It's over there. It's crazy.
Over there somewhere.
It's funny as hell that they said, oh, it's going to be wherever. I forget where they said it. And then there it is.
You're kidding. This is
I
real?
swear to God. I swear. I saw the story. I was like, what?
Was it a reputable news source?
Yeah, it was all over some shit. I don't know. I was reading it and they were showing pictures. I'm like, I don't know, maybe.
Atheist is not an insult. Absolutely
No, it's
not.
not.
No, everybody is
Not at all.
entitled to their own opinions. None of us really knows. And anyone who tells you that they know, like, watch out for those people for
I don't
sure.
know if I
Like,
believe I was a fish and then a monkey and then this. I don't
yeah,
believe all that.
there you go.
I believe in aspects of evolution. Yes, there definitely is aspects of that.
Indeed, indeed. Some folks believe we have
Amen.
fish and monkey. Okay. I was like, where'd you get the fish part? Atheist is an insult since some people. I mean, everybody insults whoever's on the other side, typically, right? I mean, atheists insult religious people, but I don't take it as an
That's like
insult.
Republicans and Democrats going at each
Yeah.
other. That's what that is.
Well, and I don't associate with either of them either. So, like, I kind of think they're both sides are corrupt in politics, and they don't really care
Oh,
about
there
us
definitely are. That's how you are a politician. That's it. You got to be corrupt to do that.
any more than, like, a farmer or a rancher cares about their cattle or sheep. That's about how they look at us. Bah. I don't lie to my children either. My daughter asked me about Santa Claus. I told her go talk to your mom.
Where,
Okay, all right. I did. I still lie to my son about Santa Claus. Yeah.
listen, let me
But that's just I have an excuse.
let me
Or
tell you.
reason, depends on how you look at it.
Let me say a quick story about the Santa Claus thing, and then we got to get away from the religious stuff, though. But let me tell you a quick story about Santa Claus and me telling my daughter. So when my daughter was like, I don't know, 5, she saw the movie Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Oh yeah.
She turned around and looked at me and said, well, his dad was Santa. That means you're Santa. I'm like, shit.
Then you dressed up as Santa forever.
Did all that for years, did that. And then finally I acted like I had to pass it on. Time was coming, did all that. I'm doing a podcast, one of my old podcasts called Hold Our Beer, and I'm in the middle of a show. She calls me. Well, they're yelling at me because they know my daughter. I'm like, hey, answer the phone. I'm like, shit, I'll put her right on. I put her right on. I'm like, what's up? You're on the show. She goes, Dad, Aunt tells me about the tooth fairy, right? Or she asked about the tooth fairy. And I'm like, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to play along because I know, how her aunt is. And she goes, Dad, She goes, tell me the truth about Santa and the Tooth Fairy. I'm like, gee, you already know about Santa. I'm Santa. She goes, no, tell me. I said, well, Santa's not real. We've been Santa this whole damn time. So go ahead. And she's like, all right, Dad, I love you. Bye. I'm like, all right, cool, done. It's that easy. You just tell them, like, all right, cool.
Well,
Hey,
I
they
was
got
just saying the
memories.
reason I haven't broke it to my son yet is
Still young.
because it just takes one, and then he goes and tells all his classmates, and all those parents hate you. Then they're like,
You know what? She used to go to school and tell them I was Santa.
oh, there you go.
She used to ruin all their days then. Until
Yeah.
I went from Santa Claus to DJ Khaled. That's how I went. I was
Boom.
Santa to everybody, and then all of a sudden, DJ Khaled, and they wanted all these pictures at father-daughter dances with me and shit. It was crazy.
Boom. And another one.
That's right. All we do is win.
That's beautiful, baby. So Randy says he believes in evolution. No, I believe in evolution too, and I believe in God.
You got to have evolution in this world. It just it happens. You see life
I think you can
evolve.
believe in both. I don't think it's like you know, right to life and freedom of and choice type of thing. Okay, I'm gonna skip that one. Are you a 49ers post game show on your channel? Oh, after the Super Bowl? I wasn't planning on it, but maybe.
Ted's gonna be having a drink. He doesn't ever have a drink, and he's gonna have one.
Oh man, to celebrate some champagne.
You better have one, Ted. You better send me a picture that you had one. I don't want to hear it. You better have a cigar and a drink.
Some Cristal.
I don't care what it is. You better have it.
Pattinger or whatever. Some really fine champagne. More people have died in this world arguing back and forth about who's religious right or wrong. Yeah, I agree with that part. I agree about all that part. More like what I'm talking about is like the higher power stuff, like the Friends of Bill. Believing in that can help you to not have cravings to drink and use. And it's worked for me, so I'm sticking with it.
Listen, Pat Willis is getting in.
He better.
He's getting in. There's so many players in this Hall of Fame that probably shouldn't be there, and there's so many players that they left out that should have took their place. And Pat Willis better not be one of those guys that's sitting on the outside looking in.
He's just a victim of the short career. That's all. Otherwise, he would be in.
And put him in the short career side of it all. Whatever, put him in.
Him and Megatron and Barry Sanders, they all had short careers. Patrick Willis even shorter, I think, than the other two. Yeah, they claim to have found it where the Bible says it came to rest in the mountains in Turkey. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. But who? I want a source, man.
Whoever the news channel was,
in the year 500, very corrupt people invented the concept of paying the church to absolve your sins. They called it a jubilee year. Yeah, I mean the churches, especially the Catholic Church, they have a lot of money for sure. Shell's just enjoying this moment.
That's right, Reg. That's what you should do every day. Enjoy every moment and love it.
Well, that's what I was telling people who were like, "Oh, I'm not going to buy gear unless we win." I was just like, "Buy the gear. It's only our 8th Super Bowl appearance, only like our 3rd one in like 30 years. Like, go buy it, enjoy it. Like, if you lose, I don't know, it sucks, but I don't know. I don't think you should just wait and see how we do if you want to buy stuff, go buy it. I mean, I bought this Purdy visor, so.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And I would say I bought this, but that's Nancy got this for me. She got one for Aaron too, my Wednesday co-host on First and Ted. Except for his is white. So, and then my wife got me the Kittle one over there.
Hell yeah.
For Christmas. But I've been just rocking the Purdy to support our quarterback because Kittle doesn't need any support. He's doing fine on his own.
Listen, I'll rock a Nick Bosa jersey. If someone bought me a jersey, I'll rock a Nick Bosa jersey.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I'll rock the hell out of a Nick Bosa jersey. Give me a Purdy jersey, and I'll rock that damn thing.
There you go. Yeah, that's why I've been doing it, just because, like I said, I mean, no one's out there slandering Kittle on the daily, so there's all kinds of people.
They're saying that Taylor Swift's about to go be with him now.
Oh, Kittle? Oh, that's that meme.
Yeah, it's funny as hell.
Yeah, that's funny as hell. I like that one. People still hit that basket up for free. Yeah, that whole thing. I don't agree with with like paying to absolve your sins. I don't agree with like, oh, you can sin and then you can like go say 10 Hail Marys and it doesn't count anymore.
No.
Like I'm more like just don't sin in the first place type of person. That's more like Protestant than Catholic.
Don't sin in the first place. But my thing is I don't have to go to church if I want to speak to that man or if I want to ask for forgiveness. I don't need to go give money, do none of that.
Yeah.
I absolve it in my own way. I do good things in my own way, charity my own way. I don't need all that. I don't have to go to church to say, hey, I'm a Catholic or I'm a Christian or I'm whatever. I don't have to do that.
Do a little prayer before you go to bed, a little one when you wake up, a little one with your meals, you know.
I could be sitting here smoking a cigar, having a drink, talk to the dude and be like, what's up? It doesn't have to be in some confined space where everybody's singing hallelujah. It doesn't have to be that.
Especially the one closest to us is like very high production value. So they have like video screens and soundboards and like a band and like it's like super like.
Dude, is it like that show? What is it? Is it Rhinestone?
The Gemstones.
Gemstones, dude. That show is great, and I love it because it makes fun of all that shit and it proves what all that crap is. Yes, I love that show, man. That shit is great.
Yeah, it's a little much for me coming from a more traditional background. Yeah, I won't say the names of the churches.
Well, hey, listen, I went and did all. I've been confirmed, did all that. I've done all that. I used to do all that. I went to Catholic school for so many years of my life. Problem is, I don't believe I have to do all that to make me be a better person. I don't need to go there to be a better person. I'm a better person because I become a better person.
There you go. Little Spongy in the house. He's a Eagles fan, but he's pretty cool. He's a young fella, so take it easy on him. Don't get
That's all right. That's all right.
Bent on him.
Fly Eagles fly. It's all right.
Chardall says F Kermit the Frog. Exactly.
Yeah, well,
it's exactly what politicians do. He was saying
in Miss Piggy's lap after
pays no taxes. I wonder why they support Trump.
Listen,
that is a little strange that they don't. I mean, because this church I was telling you about, like, not only do they have like the high production value, but like they have like all these buildings they bought around nearby too. Like it's like crazy to see the expansion throughout the community of their property. And yeah, that's what happens when you don't pay taxes. I live by the book called Tao Randy. I like it. Sorry, that's like my wife listens to that kind of relaxing music sometimes. You can have God be your inner voice, but that's just your conscience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's fine to speak to God, but if he speaks back, then
that's the problem. What if he speaks back?
You got issues. Straight crooks.
They are.
You're just running things by yourself. It's totally normal. Yeah, so maybe we should get back to football, or maybe we should call it here before too long. It's an hour and 20.
Now we can talk. I mean, listen, here's the deal. So you're saying 28-24 is what you called it?
Yeah, I like that score.
So you're going to say it's the over in 28-24. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Who's the MVP?
CMC.
Okay. You know what? Like I said, I told you my score, 24-21. I think it's going to be the under. I think it's going to come down not to the end, but it'll be in the fourth quarter where it's determined. God, man, I want to go outside the box of the MVP. I want to go to the defensive side. I really do, because I feel like
Bosa?
I'm going to give Nick Bosa it.
Yeah, Bosa. I mean, if he
stops Mahomes, you got to give it to him. Right?
Where he left off in the Lions game, then he could be the MVP. And he was pissed about the last Super Bowl getting held all the time.
Yeah.
And that these tackles on this Chiefs team are two of the most penalized. I mean, I think literally Donovan Smith had the most holds in the NFL in 2022. And then Jawan Taylor had the most penalties. I don't know if they were holds, all of them, but I think there are a lot of false starts and stuff too. But he led in 2024. Like, so unless Grandmama passing away inspires him to some, alternate level of play that we haven't seen, it's very plausible that Bosa could absolutely go off on these two tackles.
What helps him this whole season is having Chase Young on the other side. Because no matter whether he's at top level or not, you still fear that man.
Yeah.
You still fear what the Predator can do because, I mean, that dude is still a monster in his own right. And that helps take a lot of the pressure away from Bosa's side because now Bosa can run free. He's not getting double and tripled because they can't do that because then Chase is going to eat somebody alive.
Yeah. And Kinlaw's been playing well. Hargrave needs to step it up. We haven't seen much of him lately. And he's been getting a big paycheck. Time for him to show up. And Armstead, he was coming back from that plantar fasciitis. So hopefully he's, back up to game speed. He could be a big difference maker too.
I'm telling you, that's the whole key to it.
Especially with Cooney out. Because Allegretti is good. He's really good for a backup. And he's pretty good for a starter. But Joe Tooney is like all pro, like one of the best in the biz. So I think he will be missed. And I thought he would be missed against the Ravens, especially with Madubuike there in the middle. But that's the thing about backups is they can come in and look good for a game.
Yeah.
And he could come in and look good for 2 games. So I'm not saying that Allegretti's going to fall off, but definitely over the course of the longer you go, the more chance of them falling off and really showing their true colors. And it definitely will show up in the 17-game season, whether it will in the second game or not. I'm going to go ahead and say yes, that Allegretti won't look so good against us.
That's why that 2 week is good. Get that rest, be able to chill.
Yeah.
And it helps you.
I think so too. I just wish we were getting Kalia Davis back, but I'm pretty sure he was on season-ending IR. So
yeah,
that's a bummer. Well, anything else that we should go over while we're here? I think we've covered most of it. I mean, we did a score. I like obviously the Niners run game against the Chiefs run defense.
Yeah.
I think Kittle should have a pretty good game. I don't think their linebackers are particularly good in pass coverage, except for Drew Tranquil, but I guess that could be enough to slow Kittle down. For the Niners defense, I do still worry about our D-line a little bit, just the whole Jog Young thing. But I will say Chase Young came out and he said, you're going to see a better effort from us. And I was like, well, okay, that's nice because you're the one I'm concerned about.
Yeah. I think this is going to be the big light. And
Ambry Thomas worries me a little bit.
He shines brightness. I think you guys' D-line will show up and you'll be surprised.
Ambry Thomas worries me a little bit. Jair Brown worries me a little bit less. And I guess Oren Burks, our third linebacker, worries me some too. Obviously, Fred and Dre are incredible, but Oren Burks is beatable. So is Jair Brown, and Ambry Thomas flat out got cooked against the Packers, and then he kind of hurt his ankle against the Lions. So I don't know. I think he'll be all right.
But these people in their high scores in the 40s and 50s. It's not going to be like that. There's no way. No way. 30 should be your big number. 30, 35, not 52. Damn.
A lot of people talking about Mitchell running the ball in the comments. I really don't think we'll see much Mitchell. I think it'll be mostly Debo and CMC.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think Kittle scores the first touchdown. I'm with Team Cali on this.
Oh, man, nothing would make me happier.
I think he does, and I think that'll pump this whole team up.
That would, for sure. Yeah. I mean, if you're boring, you just say CMC just because he scored so
many. I mean, he should be the one, but I think it's Kittle, and it's going to be like they're going to be 20 yards out, and he's going to get it.
There you go. Another nice dot from Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
He's done a lot of nice throws to Kittle deep. That's true. I think Kittle had the most explosive plays for any tight end this season. So
I agree with Randy too. He's saying Brock over 50 yards rushing. I agree with that too.
I love it. We're gonna need it. That way we make them spy him, and then that helps everybody else.
Yep, it opens up the field.
I think Ayuk is going to be okay too. Everybody just assumes that Snead's going to lock him down, but Ayuk is such a talented route runner. I don't know that any corner can really completely take him out. I think you might see more from him than, which isn't a ton, but I think more than some people are expecting.
Yeah.
Some people just say, "Oh, Snead's on him, it's over." And the funny thing is, then they say, "Oh, well, Snead's on Ayuk and McDuffie will be on, Debo," but Debo doesn't play in the slot much. So, they're X and Y receivers. So it'll probably be, I think the guy's name is Taylor, Jalen Taylor, something like that, is the other corner for Jalen Watson. I keep saying Taylor, but it's Watson.
I gotta love the chat, man, and their will to say all these high scores. Then SG Sports Talk says Brox will throw for 600 yards and 4 touchdowns.
600. Jeez, Chardall. But he also said that the Browns were going to lose out and not make the playoffs too, if you remember.
Yeah, I mean their whole defense went and ate steak and then didn't show up for the game.
I'd be surprised if Purdy threw for 600 yards in 2 games against the Chiefs, let alone one.
I don't even know if he'll go over 3, but I feel like a nice.
No, I don't think he will. That's what I'm saying. I think 2 games he'd be lucky to get 600 against this Chiefs D. I think he'll get 250. Would you say 250, 275? Is that what you said? Yeah,
right in that range.
That's what I think. And 2 TDs, no interceptions, or 1 interception.
Yeah, I go with that. 2 TDs, no interceptions. Run the ball. I think he could have over 50 yards rushing.
No doubt. Sweet. Well, thanks to everybody who's been in the chat. You guys have been popping. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks to Mike. Missed you last week, but real life always over fun and games. And hopefully next week we'll be celebrating Brock Purdy looking purdy.
That's right. Very purdy.
Not parody. Oh, hey, real quick, we got Swain Bro Sports. So support a local kid run channel. There you go.
All right.
Let them out, everybody.
Swain Bro Sport. All right.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for being here. I'll just say peace, go Niners, and beat the Chiefs.